Hello and happy gaming, everybody. My name is Darksage Walker, and I am going to jump back into Hades. So, just to give you an idea of how things have been progressing, this second file that's highlighted here is the file that I've been using just to play on my own time. As you can see, I haven't wanted to put it down all that much. So now we're going to come back over here, and we will start up another run. I don't exactly remember what I was doing, but I have a pretty good idea.
Shades of the dead mill constantly within the house, complaining of their woes and seeking audience from any who would listen.
I listen.
What? Let me guess. You got caught out by one of those exalted strongbows, did you there? Next time, if you don't stand around like you're doing here right now, maybe you won't make such an easy target.
Well, thanks! That's such a big help!
Maybe.
Useless. Blood and darkness. But this place is falling apart. Nobody works an honest day down here.
Father, everybody's dead. Give them a break.
What would you even know of honest work? At least the wretched dead yet honor me as Lord. I cannot say the same for you.
I mean, yeah, just for what it's worth, Hades is a douchebag. Alright, so since I have not done much on this file, let me see who I've given a... Oh, I've gotten keepsakes from nobody. Alright.
Contractor, I have another job. The fated list of minor prophecies. That sounds somewhat exciting, I suppose.
You requisition that useless bit of parchment.
Hey, that useless bit of parchment is going to help out a lot.
Excellent.
The prodigal son returns. Everyone's saying I went easy on you, Zag.
Don't worry, Meg. I eventually managed to get home the painful way after all.
Look, I have a reputation to uphold. You get past me again like that, you best go all the way. Now leave me be and don't think you're gonna be so lucky next to meet out there.
Alright, so thanks to everything that I've learned playing through this game as far as I have on my other file, I've learned some things that are of some relative good importance. Like, for one, early on in the game, you want to be collecting as many keys as possible. Everything else can wait until you've unlocked the talents on the mirror and the weapons. And I personally go for the weapons first, and then... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm cutting off Zagreus here.
The guilt-racked monster Cerberus admits to committing the crime, expressing some remorse for having implicated the incendiary prince.
Cheer up, boy. It'll be all right.
Alright, so let's go ahead and give out my first nectar on this file.
As one of Cerberus's heads receives the prince's gift, another muzzles something back into his hand.
And there's my first keepsake. And of course we have to pet the good boy.
Just as long as one of your three heads enjoys these pets.
And something that I've learned being a pet trainer is that dogs, especially when they don't know you, don't like being pet on their head all that much. It's actually better to pet them on their chest where they can't naturally reach. And that typically tends to earn a dog's favor a little bit better.
Hey, that must be the fated list.
The fate-abetting prince perhaps believes it was through his own choice that he procured the fated list of minor prophecies, but it was preordained.
Oh no, not this determinism thing again. Fated list of minor prophecies.
And I only have to meet one more of them. I get 3 nectars. 10 keys for meeting the rest of the chthonic ones. Alright, so everything there is... Alright, So we're working on it.
Good to go.
Alright, so yeah, I don't have much. In comparison, I'm going to feel relatively weak and helpless like a newborn baby. Hello, what is this?
The courtyard of the House of Hades is kept neat and orderly, in contrast to the terrifying sprawl that lies beyond.
It's not that orderly, really. Hey, Skelly, you look like you know your way around Tartarus. Found some of this ancient Titan blood out there, and I was looking to score some more.
Ah, you come to the right place regarding that there, pal. It's your mean weapons back there that can find this stuff. Once you get all the way through Tartarus with one, that's all the blood you're gonna get. For the time being, anyhow.
How am I supposed to keep track of which weapons I've earned these with, then?
I don't know, there's always the invention of writing stuff down. You'll figure something out.
Alright, now that I actually have a keepsake, let's go ahead and equip it.
Stygius, blade of the underworld, I need your strength.
Alright, I think we're good. Well, like I said, I've learned quite a bit about this game by playing so much on the other file. Oh, Aphrodite.
Mess. Let's see here. Hi there. In the name of Hades, Olympus, accept this message.
Why, hello there, little godling. I have to say you're quite the specimen, and so I've decided I shall aid you for the moment. You interested?
I mean, who wouldn't be interested, let's be fair. And when the only thing she's wearing is some jewelry. I think Heartbreak Flourish is probably the best thing to take there.
And the power to break hearts? Sure, I don't see why not.
Alright, I only have one nectar right now, so I need to be careful about who I give it to. There are targets I'm looking at, again, based on what I know about the game from how much I've played on the other file and on the Switch. Which, by the way, for those of you wondering, this game actually runs quite well on the Switch. I highly recommend if you don't have a good PC to play it on the Switch. Matter of fact, I would just say one way or another, just play this game. This game is a beautiful exemplar of roguelike design. I'm pretty sure I said the same thing about... Yeah, I said the same thing about Undermine, but I mean, I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it. But Dark Sage, aren't you a sarcastic asshole? I mean, yes, but that doesn't mean I'm always... It doesn't mean that you can never trust a word I say.
Has lovely Aphrodite put you in a trance already, Zagreus? Or might I offer you the blessing of Olympus to intensify her catastrophic power with my own?
Oh ho ho! Alright, so both of these are really good, and even though I am looking for a good, powerful cast, I'm not 100% sure that electric shock is going to be it when I have lightning strike at my disposal. That having been said, it is amongst one of the best casts out there, so I'll definitely take it. Alright, and as I said before, early game, you want as many keys as you can get. You need a lot. A lot to unlock the weapons, a lot to unlock the talent and the Mirror of Night. And the thing is, once you're done with them, all they are is fodder for getting more nectar at the Wretched Broker, so... Take a hit. So the reason why Zeus's cast ability is so good is because it's basically just big old chain lightning. And you know what? That's always good. I see a Well of Charon there. Very nice. To give you guys an idea of how of the difference that I've become accustomed to. On my other file, I have 3 bloodstones to perform a cast ability with, and I have alternate aspects of all of the weapons, as well as I start with 100 gold and 100 health instead of 50 and 0.
Stronger still.
I'm gonna save what money I have. So while my maximum health is 50 and I'm kind of starting kind of lowly and ragged, I'm not expecting to make it super far, but hopefully you can see that I've put some time and practice into the game and I've definitely gotten better, just at the actual game aspect of it. Poseidon. Poseidon's got a lot of good boons and blessings. The problem is that some of them don't work very well with the Stygian Blade. Stygius typically has other boons and blessings that it's looking for aside from Poseidon's, so I think I'm going to come this way. And yeah, the obvious tiles on the ground are trap tiles. You can use them to hit enemies, but the traps can also just as easily hit yourself, so you just gotta be real careful about where you're walking. Or dashing, in this case. I also have an ability unlocked from the mirror on my other file that makes it so that enemies that have my bloodstones stuck in them actually take more damage. So many different things that's... Let's see. Is an Ares boon worth it? I think... potentially if I get the dash. Other things are... well, you know what? Let's go for it. So one of the problems I've been noticing lately when I've been using Stygius is that I tend to lock myself into combos, and it's not because like the game is actually frame locking me into the combos. You can dash out of your combos whenever. I just get greedy.
The winds of war blow fiercely on the surface now, my kin. Thus I'm able to confer upon you even greater power than has been my custom.
Very nice. So that's the thing that I was saying I probably didn't want. Curse of Agony is good on some weapons that have slightly slower attacks. With this weapon, I would kind of prefer, like, Aphrodite's attack boon or Zeus's attack boon, something that just boosts the power of each of your attacks. It's not that Doom is a bad status effect, far from it. The problem is, you can only have one stack of it at a time, and it hits kind of slowly. So it's actually best utilized on weapons that...
the War God's power.
That attack a little bit slower.
Caught me on a break again. You know, Prince Ed, I'd not expected to run into you again, not after all this time. Something I missed down in the house, or what? Not had much company of late, is all.
Well, something's just about always a miss back home, sir. Figured it couldn't hurt to check up on things in Tartarus a bit more frequently.
Well, I am grateful for it. I and the old boulder there, in turn. I'm used to going lengthy stretches on my own, but having visitors from time to time would do me well. Good idea.
Cheers, mate.
So while I'm still working on getting the sound balance down for this particular game, I'm trying to stay quiet while characters are speaking like that, because I don't want people missing out on details that could be important. Because this is a game that, despite its structure, actually tells quite an interesting story, and a lot of it is very character-based. So I'm trying not to be super rude and talk over all the characters during those cutscenes. Here we go.
So all I need to do is sacrifice some of my life essence to go in here. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I'm kind of taking a bit of a risk by coming here.
What is that?
The deepest reaches of the underworld. The void from which all life and consciousness sprang forth during the dawn of time. The realm of chaos. A land almost unseen even to denizens of Death's kingdom.
Could you keep it down? This is not someone I recognize. So, in the name of Hades, hello, may I ask who's calling?
Ask who's calling.
Would you not agree?
Have we met?
We have met in a way. I know everybody here and there. You wish to leave this place, and it is my wish to make your doing so a little bit more interesting. And if you encounter the Olympians someday, do give them my regards.
Alright, so let's see.
I'll have to withstand the winds of chaos to extract the benefits a few chambers from now.
What he said.
Oh, God.
Nobody gets out of here, whether alive or dead.
Survive for 45 seconds! This challenge as presented by Mickey Mouse, I guess. I don't know where that came from. So if you want to, you don't actually have to do you don't actually have to fight anything here. You just evade things for 45 seconds, but consider what type of game we're playing here. Now, it's less useful for me because I actually can't earn any money for this in 2 more chambers, but I want to fight them because I've been having issues with Stygius lately, and I've already explained them, so consider it just me practicing.
Well, that's better.
Alright. Hey, I still have yet to earn Titan Blood with Stygius. Alright, first boss, Megara. Let's go.
Hi, Meg.
I heard what happened. You crossed the River of Flame. You really did it.
That Hydra was a total bastard, though. Bastards. But you sound practically impressed with me there, Meg. I feel so flattered.
You'll soon feel something else. I don't know how you did it, but it changes nothing.
So with the bonus that I have on my other file that makes it so that enemies take more damage if they have a bloodstone stuck in them, I would be doing, I want to say, like 25 to 50% more damage to her right now. No, I did not pay attention to the timing on that. And by the way, for those of you who do know your Greek mythology, you probably know that there are 3 Furies, so the question would remain, are the others going to show up? Now, some of you might already know the answer to that question, but yes, they will be showing up later. was not smart. I don't want to catch that. It looks painful. Alright, so we're almost done with Megaroth. Ow. And there we go.
This holds some sort of power, but for what?
Don't worry, you'll be figuring it out.
You're going nowhere, boy.
Alright, so we'll buy that and that. Now, one of the tips that I have picked up on...
Far above, the heat from Phlegethon, the river of flame, is faintly felt already, even as its dangers lie in wait.
Lovely indeed. So, now I completely forgot what I was saying because I had to halt myself because the narrator had to do a voiceover. What was I saying? God, my memory as of late has been even worse than usual. I'm partially left to wonder if it's the effect of age or the effect of stupid. Ow. Ugh. Oh, where's my bloodstone? Give me that.
A curse of chaos has expired.
Very nice. Alright, so we can get some darkness or some jewels. I need both. I think at this moment in time, though, jewels are the more pertinent pickup. Because, as you can see, the renovations being done to the underworld are going to be, in good part, how you get more stuff unlocked. Thank you, Trap. Oh yeah, and I can get money again now. But to be fair, I'm not exactly expecting to make it all the way through the game on this run. But like any good roguelike that has permanent progression and upgrades, you're not going to get anywhere without playing the game. There really is just no shortcuts. I just highly recommend taking the time to pick up the important upgrade materials, and like I said, keys are going to be a big part of that. So this symbol here, that's both Aphrodite and Ares. I could pick up 2 boons here, but whoever I end up picking second is going to get mad at me and send a wave of enemies after me while attacking me. That having been said, I do think it's worth it, I just need to play very carefully. Because the fact of the matter is, it is 2 boons that will help you out quite a bit on your quest.
Widely decided, dearest.
Your Heartbreak Strike is really easy to take.
Choice, my kin. There are consequences to such choices every single time.
So, with her Heartbreak Strike now, not only is my attack stronger, which why she's responsible for improving attack, I'll never know. But it not only does my primary attack do more damage now, but I'll keep smooth. But it also lays a status curse on the enemy called Weak, which makes it so that they do less damage. And with Weak being so easy to apply to my enemies, it's really going to help me just progress in a much smoother fashion. But you can see how it'd be easy to get lost in a combo string using Styvius and end up taking accidental damage. Which is typically what happens to me when I play this weapon. A problem that I strangely was not encountering with the other super close range weapon. Engulfing Vortex or Urge to Kill? I love that. Rift duration plus, essentially like a frame or two. Yay. But they do pull foes in, which I think is the more important part. Money or a Dionysus Blessing? Now that comes with a boss fight. Money is probably just going to be a normal chamber. If I had to guess as to which one would probably be better for me right now, I think I'm gonna hope that this is a fountain chamber, but I'm not even sure if I've unlocked this fountain chamber yet. Nah, I should have gone with the Dionysus boot. Oh, was not thinking. Yeah, after you defeat one of those guys, you need to move quickly because they're just dropping off a nice little suicide bomb for you. And I did not react quickly enough. Therefore, I am the idiot. Like I said, I wasn't expecting this run to go super far. Right now, I'm just trying to collect my bearings and get as far as I can so I can collect materials to make my runs better with. Ow, 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 ow. Yeah, because these enemies like to hang out over the magma, it can actually be quite difficult to do damage to them if you've got a weapon that's just strictly melee like this or the Twin Fists of Malphon. Which I have not unlocked on this file yet. Don't worry, as soon as I get them, I'll be happy to show them off. It's one of my favorites. It's very likely that my run will end right here in Asphodel. And considering the amount of power I have at my disposal right now, almost rightfully so. Especially considering the mini-boss I'm fighting. I am surprised that I beat that. Alright. Hey, Eurydice.
Hey, you must be the Hades kid. How's it going then, Your Majesty? Nice to meet you. I'm Eurydice. What brings a big important guy like you to a place like this?
Now, I have to question. I've always heard it pronounced Eurydice, not Eurydice. Is there anyone out there that knows the proper pronunciation? Because I get the feeling that, you know, like Eurydice, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Eurydice. Charon is supposed to be Charon. I'm actually not sure, so I'm genuinely asking. If anyone knows, let me know, please, because I'd like to know who's correct, the way that I've learned or the way that this game presents it.
No need for formalities, I'm Zagreus. Just heading out on some official business past the menacing Bone Hydra. Don't mean to be rude, though I'm in a bit of a rush.
Well, don't have your hands full. I'll let you go. But there's one rule at my place, which is no leaves here empty-handed. You got that? So take it back. Nice retreat.
So everything that she offers is really good. I typically say the palm porridge is more often than not what you're going to want, but I've had reasons to take Ambrosia Delight. I've had reasons to take Refreshing Nectar.
Cheers.
See, that's pretty much the same as picking up 4 Palms of Power. That is no small boon. That's oftentimes going to be like the difference between life and death on a run like this.
Hit the spot.
Alright, so on later runs, I would say do your best to save your money for when you get later on and can spend it on something big, especially on the last level. But right now, survival is on the line, so I'm just taking what I can.
Get back in the magma and no one gets hurt.
Bitch, what? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get in there and do some damage. Alright. Didn't get out of his area of effect fast enough. Well, I have to say, how manly is that? I mean, yeah, I know it's an undead creature, but it's one of its primary methods of attacking is headbutting the ground. What was that? Yeah, the way I look at it, when you've got a close-range weapon like this, or like Malphon, and you're primarily using your dash to get yourself out of harm's way like that, it really helps to have either that or Dionysus' boot. So you can leave behind a damaging field for your enemies and really screw them over. And in case you're wondering how exactly I'm dodging those attacks when they appear to be hitting me nearly directly in the face, something to keep in mind. Your dash does have invulnerability. It's just like you have invulnerability frames when you're... There we go. It's just like you have invulnerability frames when you evade in Monster Hunter. Give me this. we go. Two, three. Hit it with a lightning bolt. Slash it with a sword a whole lot. Couldn't think of a way to rhyme that. No, 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 no! There we go. And that's one Lernian Bone Hydra down. And another diamond. A diamond for me. A diamond indeed.
Damn it, can't get that.
No, but I can get more gems. Like I said, in the early stages of the game, it's probably better not to concern yourself with are you going to be able to win the run. More so, just pick up, like, gems and keys. Just pick up stuff you're going to need to make yourself stronger, and just go from there.
Chambers of Elysium, numbing old pains and memories of the most notable shades like there.
Here's another pronunciation example. I've never learned it as Lethe. I learned it as Lathe. So again, if someone could quantify that, that would be great.
I'll have to give them new pains to recall.
Now, Zagreus as a character, I do have to admit that at times he comes off as, like, Captain Super Edgelord, but when I like Zagreus the best is not when he's being like Captain Edgelord, it's when he's being just this really dorky guy. Like, he's got anger, he's got a reason to be like mad about his lot in life, or whatever you want to call it, life, death, afterlife, underworldiness in his society, let's put it that way. But I like it better when he's just a guy. He's just being a regular old kind of friendly dorky guy. And I'm sure some of you are saying like, oh god, I can't ever see this character being like that. Trust me, later on when he's had some time to really sit and talk to characters and get to know them and they get to know him, it comes off as a very different character. Like, he's actually seems like a really pleasant dude. And you know, I'm all for that. It's kind of like how what everyone remembers about Cloud Strife is his sword and how he's like, oh, everything sucks, but that's not who Cloud Strife is to me. I always envision Cloud Strife as just a big old dork who just happens to have the ability to wield this massive sword. And Cloud Strife is more than just Buster Sword. I don't know, it's one of those things that people will oftentimes read into it what they want, because, I mean, it is a role-playing game. You are supposed to be putting some of yourself into it, I suppose.
Just a bit longer.
I just don't understand why what everyone wants is to be an edgelord. Maybe what it is that part of it, the whole edgelordiness factor, it comes down to wanting a power fantasy, which, okay, I can understand that. I can even relate in many ways. We all want to have more control over our lives and the power to chase our desires, but I don't know, does that really come across when you're going, oh, life sucks, everything's terrible? I think the better way to go about life is taking things in a much more calm and well-demeanored direction. It's not being an edgelord. I mean, okay, we all like Batman, sure, well, some of us do. But that shouldn't be like a recommendation of the lifestyle. Plus, how many of us are billionaires with the ability to build our own armor and, you know, go around breaking bones for the better part of your life? I was about to say living, and then I stopped and said maybe I should say life. So we'll compromise and say, you know, what you do with your time. I'll take a little splitter. So what that does is it turns your base attack into that, which has a base attack of 90. So it doesn't seem like much, but it's actually quite impressive. And this is where my run ends, because this enemy is super difficult to deal with. So the reason why I'm ignoring the other guys right now, even though they are kind of the most dangerous part of this fight, is because if I don't take out the soul, like the soul catcher here, then they're just going to keep respawning infinitely. Then after that, your next goal should be the bow guys, because they can hit you from afar. And there we go. I figured that's where my run would end. Go bird! They can hear the birds outside, so they're having a field day.
I can't get used to that.
That's right, as we get stronger, we'll be able to take them. Alright, so that's actually where I'm going to end this run, so thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate you and your support, as well as coming to spend time with me. Like I said, if someone knows the full pronunciation of those words, I would love to hear it. Like I said, I learned very differently how those words should be pronounced, but let me know in the comments below, and you all have yourselves a fine day. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you